I am joined by Brother Blak Panther, who is currently in transit. I know he fell off the show earlier and couldn't, get into the conclusion. However, Brother Blak Panther, if you got a moment to talk, the floor is yours, my brother.
Oh, okay, man. I was just seeing what the topic was, man. But just want to
Now
say,
we're leaving that other topic to you. That's your topic.
oh, oh, okay. Man, I've been seeing it a lot, man. I've been an Orisha worshiper for about 6 years. Then the last three came over to the traditional West African side. But it really doesn't matter what kind of Orisha worshiper you are. One thing reigns true. If you are a person that you make a commitment to wanting to be something within the Orisha structure, you want to be a devotee, you want to be a person that chants verses, you want to be a singer, you want to be a diviner, you want to be a priest, you want to be a herbalist, whatever you want to be. There's one thing you can't get around. You need training. There's no way around that you need training. What I see a lot is people will meet someone either on Facebook or out somewhere, and these people will say they can do, divination or whatever, and they do them. Some type of spiritual work is done for you. You may even be sent something in the mail like beads or warriors or charms or what they called Ishefa or Tutu Onifa, whatever you got sent, Ile Ori, whatever you got sent. And people get real content with that until they figure out they don't know how to do anything with it. And years pass. And these people that you meet, whether they be in Nigeria, whether they be in America, whether they be in Cuba, Venezuela, Brazil, they don't teach you nothing. So you kind of just have this thing, it's a glorified paperweight. You don't know what to do with it. I want to say to those type of people, if you received a lot of stuff or got a lot of work done for you, and you've made that choice that you wanted to be something in this tradition, and the person that's supposed to be leading you and guiding you is not training you, you are being taken advantage of. You are being played. You are being had. You are paying for whatever it is that they want to buy. They are treating you like a client and not someone that is serious about worship. If you want, if someone is not meeting your needs, I don't care what they are. They're a Babalawo, they're a Babalorisha, they're a Babalosa, Orishango, Ologu, whatever their title is, chief of whatever. If they're not meeting your simple, basic needs of learning how to worship and learning how to do what you want to do in this tradition, you have to find somebody that is. Because you the cash cow. You're the person providing them with everything that they want to buy. If it's in Africa, you provide them with the you feed the village basically. Because in Africa, especially Nigeria and Naira, man, they came up off you. Because in America, saying, "Come on, you are being taken advantage of. They're not teaching you anything. You are being taken advantage of." I want to make that clear. And for those that are worshipers, you know how to throw Obi, great. but it should always be advancing. You should know how. If this is something you've received, let's say you receive an Ogun shrine, you should know how to communicate with that Ogun shrine. You should know how to chant to that Ogun shrine. You should know how to do praise poetry. You should know how to do Ijala. You should know how to do Mojuba. You should know these things. If you don't, you're getting taken advantage of. And when I say know these things, they should be teaching you these things in English and in Yoruba. So you should know what you're saying in English, but be chanting in Yoruba. That's what should be happening. That's the standard. Not if someone's not meeting the standard, you need to look somewhere else. If you don't know anybody else, you can always contact me. I can help. I've been where you at. I've been with people that are not training. Hence why I left. It's because you're not gonna waste my time but so much. So that's really what I wanted to say. Um, it's something that happens more often than people think. He could be a nice guy. He could be a charismatic guy. You can have fun. But if he's not making your basic needs of education and instruction, you need to go. It's just that simple.
Gotcha. So basically, for people that are catching it and really not knowing the direction, for those of you who are just coming in, like the show, share the show, tell a friend, tell a friend. Blak Pantha is addressing, um, wholeheartedly people that may be getting taken advantage of within the community or outside of the community when it comes to uh, Orisa worship and practice, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be Orisa worship and practice, whether it's Haitian voodoo or West African voodoo or a comb amongst the Khan, whatever it is. You're not getting trained, you need to go. Because what happens is they give you a bunch of stuff. It's equivalent to feel good scholarship. You feel good now, right? But later down the line, you don't have nothing to do. You can't do anything with it. It's the equivalent to me giving you a uniform, a rifle, and a coordinate on a map and saying, oh, you're a Marine now. Go kill those people. You ain't never been through no training. This is why the military does basic training. So you can know what you're doing when you get in them situations. But there are people in the community that ain't giving you the basic training. They give you no training at all. And when I say training, I don't mean sending you some stuff. I don't mean sending you, articles or videos. No, you sit down and I instruct you and show you step by step how this thing works. They're not doing that. They're taking advantage of it. It's plain and simple. And when they don't train you, they leave students to their own delusions. So now, because it's natural for people to want to learn things that they have, right? So some people will go and search on the internet and search YouTube and search this and search that, and they get all this bad information. And whose fault is that? It's not their fault. It's your instructor's fault. It's your priest's fault because he left you to your own delusion. Now you have misconceptions about the tradition that you formulated on your own, where you couldn't have formulated those if he would have stomped them out from the beginning. But there are people that will do whatever you want for that cash, and they just hope that you keep coming back. You are being taken advantage of. Get with somebody that wants to train you. That should be one of the questions when you meet somebody that says they babalawo this or kung fu that or mambo this. Hey, do you train people? That's a I mean that's a serious question, right?
Yeah, yep, yep. Now, as far as Asar Anything you would like to say to Asar?
I would like to say thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your continuance of African scholarship, and being part of the great tradition that comes from, our giants of the past. Um, I think often we tend to look at those giants like no new ones are coming. We got one. Hell, we got many. If you ask me,
Right.
we got Kofi Pie, we got Master Warrior Clan, we got Brother Simon Tell, we got Brother and others. You know, we don't get me wrong. We'll always look to those ancestors like, John D. Jackson, Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, Sheikh Joe, Theophile, Obenga, so on and so forth. But here and now, we got a new school that we got to support too. And Brother Asari Motep is definitely a part of that. Big part of that. I appreciate his efforts.
So Panther, what do you say when as an example, because this happens to a lot of us, right? We're trying to learn, and we take an interest into some of these we social media, and we begin befriending people with Yoruba names, so to say.
No, 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 no. Don't do it. Uh-uh. Don't do that. Like I said, want to get in this tradition, contact me. I will direct you to reputable people. Because what happens is you put yourself out there as, whatever, and then people are going to start to request you because they're going to see some of their friends request you. And then you're going to start dealing with people and you don't know what those people qualifications are or if they're really even practitioners. You have no idea of knowing this. You don't know these people. This tradition best works off of word of mouth. It really does. Because you can be anybody online, and there's so many people. I've heard some of these horror stories, man. If a Babalawo reaches out to you, number one, that's a red flag. Babalawo no chase. Doesn't have to chase. Shouldn't have to chase. Work speak for itself. Number one, that's a red flag. Oh, sister, I'm Babalawo so and so from Abeo Kuta, and the ancestor told me to tell you. No, man, that ain't how this works. No, no. Uh-uh. Anybody want to get in this tradition? My inbox is open on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram, Blak Pantha Mossy, BLAKPANTHA Mossy. You can follow me on TikTok now because my TikTok is starting to get a lot of attention. A lot of white folks complaining about TikTok, but you can follow me on there, and you can email me mossywarriorclan@gmail.com. I will get you to somebody reputable so you won't waste your time like I wasted my time by learning these hard lessons. You don't let them learn these hard lessons. I already learned it for you. So this generation should be progressing, not going backwards. So you can hit me up. I will personally get you to somebody that will be more than happy to train you if that's what you want and to do your work correctly.
All right, so Panther, let's get into this whole notion of there was something thrown out about the Orisha and how they don't exist or they have no meaning or anything like that.
People that say those things really don't practice. It's kind of obvious they don't practice. They haven't been very far in the tradition. It sounds as if they read some books, read some things online, talked to some people, and formed their own opinions. But when you get into an Orisha's Oriki, and you know what Oriki is defined as praise poetry. For those that don't know what that word means, But it's not just praise poetry we say to, you know, get a couple claps and snaps. No, we say this praise poetry to invoke the deity's presence in his home, his shrine, the place where he dwells, if you have it in your house or wherever. So this is why we say this. That's the whole meaning behind Orisa. If there were abstract concepts or things that we did not invest our energy in, and we thought that, you know, we just did it for whatever, we wouldn't have Orisa. What would be the purpose?
Right.
So from the very beginning, you know, and that's somebody that doesn't know how to worship as well. So from the very beginning, worship, pulling and casting, or what they call obi divination, is rooted in invoking deity. You know, so I can't agree with someone that would make statements like that.
All right. Next question that I actually have for you is a very important question. Did the Orisha uh, give their stories to uh, the Yoruba? There's a claim out there that the Yoruba got their creation stories from the Orisha. It was handed down to them like the tablets was, or the information was with Moses.
I'm sorry, I never heard that claim, so it's kind of funny. Uh, no,
Stop
the
laughing, man.
The Orisha were wrote about the ones that claim to have been you know, humans at one time were wrote about. And then we also have to be careful, because you will see a story about Ogun or Batala, but sometimes those stories are not about the Orisha. They're about an Ogun or Batala worshiper. But his real name will be Obedi, and it will just be Ogun. It won't be Ogun Jobi, it won't be Ogun Wale, it'll be just Ogun. Or if it's an Obatala worshiper, you know, it won't be you know, Efun Jobi, it'll just say Obatala. So we have to be careful with those stories and really do the research as to where they come from and what is the meaning behind them. Some of these stories are just stories designed to illustrate a point, but some of them describe actual events. So you have to it's not a blanket thing. You know, you have to, you know, do your research and really figure out what you're actually reading, because Itan, which is stories in Yoruba, they are written in a type of code. And if you're not a worshiper, if you're not a person of this particular system, you might miss it. There's sections, especially when you talk about Odu. There are sections to Odu that each section is supposed to illustrate a certain point or get a certain meaning. If you don't know that, you'll just be reading it like, oh, so and so did this and this and this. That's really not the purpose. So, you know, some things are. That's why I get back to training. You have to be trained, because if you're not trained, you'll come up with your own delusions about things you have no idea what they're trying to tell you.
Hey, Panther, let me ask this. Are the Orishas supernatural?
Not to the Yoruba. The Yoruba really don't have a concept of supernatural. Like we talked about on the other show, Dingo Dingo, which is natural way of life to the Congo. That is the Orisha or the Irumole, or the Iwin, or the Iyami Aje Osorunga, or these many different things that you'll see. That's there. It's basically like coming outside when it's raining and getting wet. They don't see it as anything special. Now we might define it as supernatural, but to the Yoruba, it's just a natural way of life.
Gotcha.
All right, so let me get in your business a little bit, right? Because you deal with Ogun,
Uh-oh.
the sustainer of life, right?
I do.
Okay. I just wanted the people to know that you deal with Ogun. So now, with Ogun, what is the infatuation with Ogun at the taste of blood?
He's a blood drinker. It has to do with his nature. He's a warrior. He's as we say Ejemu Oluwanran, which means Ogun. It refers to Ogun being a blood drinker. It has to do with his war nature. Ogun is not a warrior, just he is the war. He is the fight. Uh, Whenever you see a fight, you see Ogun. Ogun is present. Whenever you hear people cursing, Ogun is present. Whenever you hear vituperation or any type of malice or intent, Ogun is present. That is his nature, so to speak. So Ogun and blood is just something that's a part of his worship. You'll also see palm oil as a part of his worship. Different Ogun take different things, like snails, ram, sheep, different things like that. But Ogun is known as a blood drinker, and that speaks to his warlike mentality.
So, with that being said, is that the reason why a quarter of the universe is controlled by Ogun?
A quarter of the universe is who told you that?
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to understand. Without Ogun, the universe, it wouldn't be what it be, you know.
I wouldn't say the universe. Ogun is a hard-working man's divinity. Ogun is a deity of
Oh, say
civilization
it
and
again. You said,
evolution.
hold on. You said Ogun is a hard working man's divinity.
Divinity, absolutely.
Okay,
People with hard jobs
gotcha.
are usually Ogun works for like blacksmithing or tattooing or hunting or these are the trades of Ogun, wood carving, things like that. Even sewing is a Ogun trade. So he's a hard-working man's divinity. So civilization and things like that don't move. The cutting of the grass, the excavation of the forest, the getting the food, the palm oil tapping, the palm wine tapping. The palm wine is one of his favorites. The roasted yam cutting. All that is Ogun things. He's a hunter. He's a farmer. He's the king of the forest. So I wouldn't say the universe, but as far as Earth is concerned, that we say Ogun Laakae, which means Ogun, the one is known all over the world.
Okay.
And whether you're talking about infrastructure or you're talking about the type of foods or metal or technology, Ogun is everywhere. So that's why we say that.
Okay. Tuche, you got something before I ask again?
Nah, go ahead. I'm trying to get old boy over here.
Man, I done made it to my destination, man. So I'm out to hop off.
No problem.
It is raining like a mug. So
I heard.
since it's raining, most people would dedicate this to Oya, right?
Yeah.
but
That's
in
wrong.
Shango's literature, it says if there's someone that knows more about the rain more than Shango, may that person come forth. So
Cool.
I just want to put that out there. Chongo Lukoso Arriba.
We
Okay.
need some Shango out here in California.
Well, you can take ours.
All right, Panther, we ain't gonna hold you up, man. I know you got to get to your destination, bro.